I'm Tommy from Free Field Training. I've been a police officer for 15 years in an area that gets its fair share of crime. I have worked most of those years on the street, dealing every day at the ground level with people that had problems in their lives. Domestics, car thefts, carjackings, homicides, burglaries, all sorts of violent and property crimes. And one of the most popular things that we get, both walking into the front desk, people calling 911, people calling the non-emergency number, or people just waving me down in the street for, are their wallets or purse getting stolen. So today, while ordinarily on Free Field Training, I talk to police and security personnel about the best tips and tricks to do their jobs using my experience and the experience I've garnered from other police officers that I deal with every day, and also talk about the gear that we use to do those jobs. Today I want to talk to the general public about what to do if your wallet or purse is stolen, and hopefully this helps my law enforcement and security friends who watch this channel on a regular basis to learn how to give better advice to people that are stuck in this situation, maybe some ideas they wouldn't come up with to give those people on their own. The first thing to understand about your wallet or purse getting stolen is that the common perception from TV about wallets and purses getting stolen is mostly bunk. The idea of a pickpocket going into the back of a man's pants and pulling the wallet out of the pants. I'm not saying that it never happens. I'm just saying that it's very, very, very uncommon in most places in the continental United States. It's very, extremely uncommon where I'm at here in the Chicagoland area. And the reason for that is because everyone just leaves their wallets laying around. And you have to understand that an ounce of prevention is really worth a pound of cure. In fact, I'd say an ounce of prevention is worth 10,000 pounds of cure when it comes to your wallet or purse being stolen. Because right now, you've got people leaving their wallet or purse sitting on top of the cart when they go into Target or Walmart. You've got people leaving their wallet or purse just sitting out in their car, their unlocked car, overnight while they're sleeping inside, parked on the street in front of their house. You've got people that'll take their credit card out of their wallet, put the wallet down on the counter at the grocery store or at a convenience store, pay with the card, and then come back and put the card in their wallet and their wallet back in their pocket. So today, you don't have to be a pickpocket in order to steal somebody's wallet because people are just leaving them all over the place. So there's very few instances that I can think of in my 15 years that I've ever actually seen a pickpocket. Now, this might be a thing in Europe or Asia or in very densely populated areas that are also tourist attractions, but it hasn't really been necessary in the area that I work and live, and I think in most places people are going to be watching this inside the United States and Canada. So your first step in not having your wallet or purse stolen, and if you're watching this after your wallet or purse was stolen, go down and comment down below how it was stolen, but I'd be willing to bet you put it down somewhere, you turned around for just a second and came back and it was gone. When you find yourself in that situation where you put your wallet or purse down and you came around for just a second and then you came back and it was gone, the first thing you want to do is retrace your steps and make sure you didn't in fact drop it on the ground or put it into an oddball pocket. I've had people call me before and say their wallet was stolen, and I'll say, where did you leave it at? And they're like, I don't know, it was in my back pocket and now it's gone. I say, well, what store did you go to before? All right, now check your pockets, right? Did you already go to the store? Okay, check your pockets and make sure all of your pockets, and they find their wallet in their top breast pocket because they were doing something and one hand got busy that they normally put their wallet away with, so they put it in another pocket and they forgot about it. So the first thing you do before you call 911 or start bothering the loss prevention people in the store is check your pockets, make sure the wallet isn't on you, retrace your steps, make sure it's not just sitting on the floor 20 feet from you or sitting on a counter nearby. When you know it's not in your pockets and it's not in your immediate vicinity, now it's time to start worrying. And the first step in starting to worry, unfortunately because of credit card and debit card companies, is to call the police. So if you still have your phone, assuming your phone wasn't in your purse or wallet, call your local police department. However it is you normally do that. Some places require that you call 911 in order to get a cop to come out. Some of them prefer you call the non-emergency number. I've done videos before, don't call 911. I would say this isn't necessarily a life-threatening emergency, but if you called 911 because your purse or wallet was stolen, I wouldn't blame you. This is going to lead to one of two routes. Either the police department is very busy and there's lots of crime in that area, in which case they're going to tell you to come to the station, or they are going to send an officer out to speak with you. we're going to talk a little bit about what to do if they tell you to come to the station first, because the areas that this happens the most in are the types of areas where they're going to tell you to come into the station to make your report. If you're told to come into the station and make the report, say, okay, thank you very much. Hang up, understand that they've probably got 60 other calls going on. I'm sure you'll hear about it from them as soon as you walk into the station after you've waited 2 hours. Oh, by the way, if they tell you to come into the station for a report, understand that you're probably going to be waiting a while. So you don't need to get in your car and drive 70 miles an hour to the station to get those cops on this case right away, because they're probably not actually going to investigate it at all. What they're going to do is do a report for you so that you can contact your insurance company. There's no rush to come in, because that's all that's going to be. Before you come into the station, check around again, make sure it's not sitting on the floor somewhere. Go to the lost and found at the desk of whatever big box store it was that you put your purse or wallet in the front of if you're inside a store. And then make sure that they know you're looking for it. Maybe even leave them your name. And then before you leave to go to the police station, I want you to go through the store or any dumpsters that might be nearby and check and make sure your wallet or purse isn't in a garbage can or dumpster. This goes to the psychology of most thieves. Thieves that are picking up wallets or purses almost always dump them somewhere immediately. They are looking for cash, they take the cash, they dump the wallet. It is very rare. People freak out about their wallet or purse getting stolen, that they've got their ID, and now they know where they live, and their keys are in there too, and their credit cards are there. Occasionally I'll see somebody where their wallet will be stolen and their credit cards get used. Normally they go to some big box store. Oftentimes around me it's Home Depot, and they'll go get gift cards with it. But more often than not, they pull the cash out of the wallet, or the purse, they take the wallet, the purse, everything, they throw it in the garbage. And the reason they're doing this is because the last thing they want is somebody like me catching them with the wallet or purse in their possession. That's evidence they don't want sitting around. So they get rid of that as soon as humanly possible. So if you take the area that you realized your wallet or purse was missing at, and you search about 200 yards to 250 yards in every direction from there, check all the garbage cans or dumpsters, most of the time, you are going to find your wallet or purse in that area. If your wallet or purse gets stolen out of a car, especially if it's parked on the street, go check all the garbage cans up and down the blocks in your area. Check all the dumpsters. If you do that before you come into the station, if they tell you to come to the station, normally you can recover your wallet or your purse right then on your own, and hopefully your credit cards and your ID and all that are still in there. If your credit cards are missing, but you find your ID and your wallet and your debit card, then that limits the number of phone calls you have to make and the number of things you have to worry about in the immediate future. So that's always a good thing. Once you've checked to make sure your wallet or purse isn't in the immediate area, which it's not always going to be, but many times it is, you go into the station, you're going to walk up to a front desk probably, you're going to talk to somebody, they're going to tell you to go take a seat, you're going to wait half an hour to 3 to 5 hours for somebody to come up there. When they get up there, be ready to answer questions. They're going to ask you a whole bunch of questions. They're probably going to ask you if you have your ID, even though your wallet was just stolen. Just tell them, no, I don't have my ID. It was in my wallet, or it was in my purse, or whatever else. Give them your information. They're probably only going to ask for information that you're going to know already. Your name, your date of birth, your current address to make sure it actually matches what's on your driver's license or ID. A couple good phone numbers for you. Things like that. They're going to ask about what the wallet or the purse looks like. It's nothing astounding, but they're going to have a lot of questions to ask. They're going to give you a little card, and then you call your credit card company or your bank, or you go to the DMV with the little card with that officer's name and an incident number on it, and they're going to ask for that information in order to issue you new credit cards, to clear off of your bank statements, to clear off your credit card statements, to give you a new ID or driver's license, all of that type of stuff. If the police tell you on the phone that they're sending an officer right out, congratulations, you found a town that cares. They're going to send that officer to wherever you tell them to. In all likelihood, you're going to be doing this at some big box store or at your house. When they tell you they're going to send an officer out, the best thing to do is wait for them, either on your front porch. You're going to see them pull up. They're probably going to be in a fully marked squad in uniform. If you're at a big box store of some kind, a Target, a Walmart, Home Depot, something like that, walk outside to the front of Target, Walmart, or Home Depot. That's going to make the time it takes for all of this to get done a lot faster. Because if they have to go walking around the store looking for you, it's going to take a long time. Also, when you're standing outside the store, they probably don't have a description of you. They don't know what you look like. So a little wave, normally really handy. Or my favorite, pull up in the car and people will point. That's the person that I'm looking for. Understand, we don't know what you look like when you call us. So if you're standing outside the store waiting for us, give a little point or a little wave so we know where to pull over and come talk to you. Again, we're going to ask a whole bunch of questions about you and your bank cards and your IDs and where you were at and all of that. And it's great to have all of the checking and garbage can checking and that type of stuff done before you get there. But if they're sending somebody right out, they might be there in 2 or 3 or 5 minutes. They might already be at the store picking up a retail thief. So you want to walk directly there, deal with that, and then come back in and check with the store and check through all the garbage cans really thoroughly to make sure your wallet isn't somewhere nearby. And again, they're probably going to give you a little card with an incident number on it and the officer's name and the date and time they were out there. You take that, you go to the DMV, get your new ID or driver's license if you didn't find your wallet. And you can also call your credit card companies. You should do that immediately, even though it's time-stamped that you called 911 and the officer came out at a certain date and time. So they're going to understand there's going to be a little flex there, but they're probably going to clear off your credit card stuff. Call them immediately so that you limit the losses, not just to you, but to the bank or the credit card companies. And then they're probably, in all likelihood, and every time I've ever heard of this happening, they're going to clear off everything that might have been purchased on that card fraudulently. Here's the thing. In all likelihood, nothing is going to have been purchased fraudulently on that card. This is a really good reason, though, to not keep your debit card number on a little slip of paper with your debit card or written on the back of your debit card in place of your signature. Don't do that. Don't ever write down your debit card number. Don't keep it in your wallet, and surely don't write the debit card PIN number on your debit card, because that's asking for somebody to go use that card if they get your wallet. In all likelihood, people that are snatching wallets, they're looking for the cell phone that's in the wallet. If you've got a brand new iPhone or something in that wallet, they're looking for that, and they're looking for your cash. Finally, the next day, after all of this is done, if you were in a store, go back in that store and check with Lost and Found. Because sometimes people will snatch up a wallet, they will take the cash out of it, and they will just leave it in an aisle. And somebody will come pick that wallet up, and they will turn it into Lost and Found. And the people that work at those stores very often are far too lazy to try to find a phone number. They could have your ID, they could have your address, they could have all of your credit card information, but if there's not a phone number written in your wallet, they're not going to be able to call you. Because how are they going to find you? Phone books aren't really a thing anymore, and people don't list their cell phone numbers. One thing that I suggest to people, which occasionally comes in handy though, is if you have your insurance card for your car, and if you have 2 of them, let's say one goes in your wallet and one stays in the car, write on both of your insurance cards a good phone number for you, or a couple good phone numbers for you. Then if your car gets broken into, let's say I find the door of your car open at 3 o'clock in the morning, I can look through. One of the first things that I look for is all the paperwork, looking for insurance cards, bills, your service history, and things like that, looking for a phone number that I can call you at if your car isn't parked right in front of your house. And if we find a wallet, one of the first things that I will do is go through and see if I can find a phone number. Hopefully somebody from the store does the same thing and they'll call you. But if not, it's great to come into the store the next day, ask them if a wallet was found in Lost and Found, give them a little description. And I have heard several cases, not lots of cases, but several cases over the years from people of their wallets being found in Lost and Found the next day, and they go, oh man, I thought my identity was stolen and all my credit cards were gone. It turns out they just pulled the $65 cash I had out of the wallet and then dropped on the floor, and some old lady picked it up and brought it to Lost and Found. And that's really your best case scenario, and realistically, that's the most likely scenario, which should be good news to you if you're watching this video because your wallet was just stolen. Hopefully not. If you're a cop or security and this gave you good ideas about what to do if wallets get stolen, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have other ideas of things people can do to mitigate these problems or some considerations, put those down in the comment section down below. I've been doing this a long time, but I can always get to learn a little bit more. If you're a member of the general public and you have other ideas, put those down there as well, especially if it's about a time you got pickpocketed in rural Tennessee. I would love to hear about all your stories that are like things that never happened for 500 Alex. It's always a good time watching people get roasted in the comments section. Please feel free to argue back and forth with each other. Till next week, you guys be safe. Take care of each other. Hey, thanks for watching Free Field Training on YouTube. And while you're here, why don't you check out some of these other goofy videos that I've made? Or you could subscribe or maybe go over to Patreon and see how you get your name put on the videos like these fine folks over here. All the links are, of course, down in the description. We'll see you guys next time.